Hello and welcome back to the Stage of Greatness for part two. Okay, so picking up where we left off. And so I'll share this with you before I go back into my story. It's funny, I had thought of, what I had shared so many times. I'm like, is it too much? Am I sharing too much? And what kept coming back to me was no. Share what comes to your heart, share what comes out, because this is, it's real, right? And I feel that or I hope that it's going to help you or someone you share this with, any nugget that you get from this, right? So that's my intention, is sharing this in order to serve you in your journey. So where we left off the last time was basically, I had went up to New Jersey to be with my family for about a week, and I did a ceremony up there. And what I got out of that ceremony was those explicit instructions, like to the T. And after I had received that, that night and the next morning, even that whole day, I just felt really good. Like, this is gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay, right? Okay, so change my flight. I have them pick me up. I get in the Jeep and I'm like nervous, super nervous. And so, I did exactly as I was told, and the outcome was not what I expected. And one of the things that I had, said to him was, do you trust me? He's like, well, yeah, absolutely. I think so. Why? I was like, I know that you want to feel good, and I want you to feel good. I will do everything in my power to make sure that that happens. I want that as well for myself. So let's find that together. Right. And he was like, no. I was like, well, what? So 30 minutes, 45 minutes, trying to like still pull him back in. So I'm still fighting for it, still trying. And so basically, what was said to me in so many words was, no, I don't want to be with you. I don't want to be in this marriage. You need to get it through your head, and we both need to move on. Okay. So I get back home, or we get back home, and while I was in New Jersey, I was trying to figure out if I wanted to move back up to New Jersey or if I wanted to stay down in Florida. So I was looking at houses while I was up there and kind of, trying to feel out like where I wanted to be. So now I'm faced again with this decision, like, okay, do I want to stay here or do I want to go back up to Jersey and be near my family? So I had said to him, like, you got to go. So he's like, what are you going to do? Are you going to stay here? Or are you going to go up there? I'm like, I don't know, but I can't make that decision with you in the house. So you need to figure out where you're going to go, and you need to go, like, get out. So he leaves. He goes to stay with a friend. Sorry, I just noticed my mic was in here. He goes to stay with a friend or somebody that he worked with, whatever it was. And so during that time, I decided to stay in Florida. The community that I am a part of, this huge group of friends, is, I've never had anything like that in my life. And what I mean by that is the connection that I have with these people, right? It's very open, it's vulnerable, it's real. We see each other and it's not like, oh yeah, the weather today. It's like, oh, so what's going on in life? Like, how, like, getting in there, the nitty gritty, the real stuff, the stuff that goes on inside you, right? So for that reason, I was like, I cannot leave Florida, because I would be leaving all of that, right? And it's so dear to me, and so they're all so close to my heart. So I decided to stay. Um, So what I realized at that point, now that I knew, so I had taken that conversation and I was like, okay, this is really real now. How do I move forward with this huge divorce belief from Christianity? And right, so that was something that I started to work through, and really realizing that, number one, how am I different from, let's say, somebody that is in a relationship to where they're being verbally abused or physically abused or neglected, or, whatever that blah, right? When I say those words, you probably get like a, why is it okay for them to get divorced and not me? Why would I or should I stay in a marriage to where it's not what I wanted, to where it's not what I know that I deserved, right? Essentially, why do I have to settle because of a belief that I had from Christianity that you don't get divorced? Like, you work through it, you do all the things that you can do. And really, at that point, I had done all of the things that I could possibly do to try and save my marriage. Right. So at that point, I felt okay. Like, all right, I've done all of the things. I'm not going to have any regrets moving forward. What if I did this? What if I said this? What if, right? No what ifs. I had already done with all of that. So moving forward, we put the house up for sale. And when the real estate agent came over to list it, I was at that point just felt broken. Now I'm selling my house, this beautiful house that I manifested in New Jersey. Even I started manifesting this. I was like, I live in this big, beautiful house with an open floor plan, oversized tiles, all windows, right? It was almost everything that I wanted. It just wasn't on the water. I loved this house. So selling it was a heartbreak. So the real estate agent leaves. I break down again. Blah! So after this, we had a conversation and he had let me in on some things that, he's like, do you want to know a couple of the things that have gotten me here to this point of feeling the way that I do? I said, yeah, absolutely. So the things that he had shared with me basically were, he had created this version of me in his head that was completely false. And one of the things that he had said to me many times throughout our marriage, especially in the beginning, was, you're so mean. I'm like, what? He's like, you're mean. I'm like, I'm not mean. You're mean. You're like, um, and when he would say these things to me, I would get really confused. Like, and I would question myself. Am I being mean? I mean, we all get short with each other from time to time, right? But mean. When I think of somebody being mean, it's like, I mean, when someone's mean to me, I believe that person absolutely knows that they're being mean and it's intentional. So I said to him the one day, I'm like, you know what? You're the only person in my life that has ever told me that. And the response was, yeah, well, I live with you. I'm the only one that really knows you. Like, okay. So now looking at that and looking at, the things that he had told me, you know, and I mean, so I'll share that on another story because that can, or another podcast, because that could be a whole thing in itself, right? How we create these versions of people or this persona of certain things, and it's not really reality. It's our experience of that person, yes. But so him not sharing these things with me earlier, before he created these versions or this version of me, I mean, a lot of this could have been avoided from him just voicing what he was experiencing. Um, so, I mean, all right, never mind. I'm not even going to go there. So, moving forward. One day I'm coming home from the gym and I'm, thinking about everything that's happening, and, that the pattern or that belief, that story that I had, um, that I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't worthy enough, came to my mind. And I said, okay, so here it is again, right? When is this going to stop? And what had come through was, you're breaking that right now. You're breaking that belief. You're breaking that pattern by ending this relationship, because you know that it's not what you deserve. So that in itself, that was definitely freeing. And knowing that moving forward, anybody that I chose, now I really know what I want, right? I had all of the clarity from this relationship, the things that I did love, the things that I enjoyed, the qualities that were amazing in my partner, and the things that were missing, or the things that happened, the qualities, the experiences that I did not want. And everything in life is consistently showing us that. We have things that come up that we don't like. Oh, clarity. Don't like that. I like this. Something comes up. Oh, this is amazing. Yes, I want more of that. We're consistently creating new desires to be brought into us by realizing what we want, what we don't want, what we like, what we don't want, or what we don't want, what we don't like. Oh my goodness. So there was one day, so we had sold the house. We sold the house the first day it was on the market. Put it on the market. We got over asking. Did we get over asking? Yeah, we got over asking. And so we took it, of course. And so I'm in the kitchen and I'm doing something with the dishes. I'm in a cabinet and I'm just this overwhelming feeling of sadness, thinking of, selling the house and leaving the house. And I love this place. I don't want to go. I don't want to let it go. And I'm crying. And so I had this realization. And basically, what went on in my head, the voices in my head said, Danielle, you can either choose to stay here in this state of suffering, or you can start to speak life into your future, into yourself, and into your future partner. I was like, well, that sounds way better than what I'm feeling right now. So that's exactly what I started to do in that moment, and out loud. I started speaking to my future partner. And I started speaking to that person in the way of, I love you. I feel you. I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you for anything that you're going through. I'm praying for you to have strength, courage. I'm praying for you to have all of the things that you need. I love you. I'm here. Thank you. So I started doing that. And I started doing that almost daily. So by the point that I moved to my space now, which I absolutely love, I have this balcony and I can see the sunrise when it comes up in the morning. I see the beautiful sky as the sun sets. I spend a lot of time on the balcony. There's lots to see out there. Let's put it that way. I'm on the top floor. I could see all of the things that go on. There's water over here, beautiful neighborhoods. So I sat out on my balcony a couple times a day doing this, and I called it turning my beacon on. So I would turn my beacon on and I would speak to my future partner. And more importantly, I would sit there and basically feel the essence of this person, how it felt to be with them, the love that I felt. And I would basically say, I love you. I feel you. I can't wait to be here with you. I'm here. You can come home. I have my light on for you. I'm waiting for you. And so I did that multiple times a day and sitting there and feeling that. So the key is feeling the feelings, right? With anything. Whenever I thought about my home that I manifested, I would feel the feelings of walking through the door, seeing all the windows, the open floor plan, right? Feeling those feelings. So I felt what that would feel like with this person. And so I believe my big turning point was on the day of my anniversary. So it was supposed to be, or it was my 9th wedding anniversary. And I was terrified for this day to come. So a month in advance, I had called my mom and I said, I need you to come here and be with me for this day. I don't know how I'm going to be. I don't want to fall apart and I don't want to be alone. Whatever you have to do, right? She's like, absolutely. I will be there 1000%. I'll make it happen. So that morning I woke up and I sat out on my balcony, and in meditation, what I received was this day that used to be a day of celebration for the two of you being one, today is your birthday of being reborn as yourself without him, yourself whole, perfect and complete, yourself with all of those pieces that you let go, that you decided weren't good enough. You are you now. So this is your day to celebrate your new beginning, your creation of you moving forward. You get to be the person that you want to be. You can live how you want, be authentic, do the things that you want, right? Freedom, you're free. And that in itself was like, oh, like blasted my heart wide open. And I was so happy and so grateful. And I was able to look back and just have so much gratitude for everything that had happened up until that point. So that night I had a whole bunch of my friends over from my community, and we had a party to celebrate my new beginning. And it was amazing. It was probably one of the best days of the entire year. It was beautiful. So much love, so much just reflecting back and just being grateful for everything and looking at all of the lessons, and really giving gratitude to myself for going through that, and gratitude for Rich that he was able to continue on that path of, no, Danielle, we're not supposed to be in this marriage together. For him having the strength to continue, because for the majority of it, I didn't have that strength, right? I wanted to fight for it. I wanted to stay comfortable. I didn't want to go through all of this shit. And that was something that I had said to him prior to, I thanked him. I said, thank you for having the strength, for keeping us on this path to ending this relationship, to ending this marriage. You're a good man. Thank you. I didn't have the strength and you do. Thank you. He was like, what? No, thank you too. But yes, so that day, amazing turning point. So in still speaking to, or turning on my beacon, so I moved into my apartment the end of August, and the end of September, I met this amazing man. And the way that I met him was, so I told you, that I love plant medicine. So I'm in a ceremony and I am sitting with myself, and I'm going in. And so I met the essence of my partner. And one of my concerns had always been, well, how am I going to know? How am I going to know that it's the right person? Like, I don't want to have to date all of these assholes and weed through all this shit. South Florida can be quite interesting. So what I received was, oh, well, you'll know, because this is what you're going to feel through your entire body. And I just felt this like electric current. I was like, oh, okay, well, that's unmistakable, right? Can't mistake that. So the next night, I'm connecting with this man, throughout the weekend. And the next night he shows up and asks if he can share some space with me. So he lays down and I just feel this like pull. I'm like, what is this? Danielle, stop. He came here for you. So I feel this pull, and so I ask if I can, let me back up. Here we go. Put it all out there. So I'm like, I want to basically like be as close to this person as I can. And how do I ask this without being weird or creepy? Gotta make it cute, right? So I said, do you mind if I drape my body on you? He was like, what? Absolutely. I was like, okay. So now, just to paint you a picture, I wasn't like laying on top of him. I had my legs over his legs, and I was kind of like laying like L shaped, right? So as I'm laying there, what do I feel? I feel that current through my body that I felt the night before. And I'm like, no way. There's no fucking way. That was last night. This is the day after? Nah, nope, definitely can't be. Okay, so I was like, Danielle, forget about it. So go to sleep on the futon out there. And so the next morning, I left, and I just had these thoughts of like, I need to know who this person is, like the energy that I felt, like everything that I felt, like I've not felt that way. And I just need to explore this. I need to know who this person is. Right. So I go back and forth in my mind, resisting myself. I'm like, well, I'll just send him a message and ask him if he wants to play a game. Right. And so this game being, so that is a reference to gratitude, right? A gratitude training that he had also done. And it's all about games. We all play these games in life. What game are you playing? So I said, you want to play a game? He's like, yeah, I love games. It's like, oh, okay. Well, do you want to be my cuddle buddy without expectations? And so it's like hours go by and there's no response. I'm like, okay, maybe I should clarify that because it sounded a little creepy. I was like, hey, so, he's like, nope, sorry for the delayed response, bringing my cousin to the airport. Didn't look at my phone for a while, but yes, that sounds awesome. So, we set up to hang out. I think it was like later that week. And, the rest is for another show that we'll get into. But needless to say, or not needless to say, because you don't know, but this person was the person that I had been talking to for the past several months. And so all of the lessons that I've learned in everything that I went through with my marriage, so many lessons, so many takeaways, and the creation really of what I did want moving forward in a partner, and feeling those things and just taking all of it and being grateful for where I had gotten to and letting go of everything from my past relationship, like fully letting go of everything, opened me up to be able to welcome in what I did want, what I desired. And really, that was the key. It was like, but right before I met him, a couple weeks before that, I had gone through several different processes where I I allowed everything to come up to the surface and then let it all come out, all the emotions, all of the everything. Right. So once I had cleared all of that, then I created space. And that space, when I turned on my beacon, was what I was calling in my desire to have this space for you. I'm ready for you. Right. And so magic is the word that I like to use, and treasure is another word. Like, this relationship, this person is my treasure. This is what I created for myself. And all of the things that happened, all of the relationships that I've had up until this point, before my marriage, with my marriage, they were all helping me create and realize what I really wanted, what I really deserve, or knowing what I really deserve. So I hope and I pray that in sharing all of this with you, that there are some nuggets that you took away, maybe some inspiration, maybe some lessons, some insights. And whatever those are, I would love to hear them. If this helped you in any way, I would also love to hear that. If you know somebody that you feel would benefit from hearing this story, please share this with them. I can't wait to share more with you guys about, what's transpired for me from this, this relationship that I'm in now. Yeah. So again, thank you so much for listening. I love you. I'm here to support you. Thank you for supporting me by listening. And again, please share. Feel free to reach out to me. You can reach out to me via social media. I am Danielle Francine on Facebook. On Instagram, I'm Danielle Francine 1203. Any of the things. My email is attached to this podcast, I believe, this show. So don't be a stranger. Connect. That's my soul. Love and connection. I welcome it. I want it. And I will talk to you all soon. Till the next show. Have a great day.